The time is 11 a.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. In attendance are Commissioners Matari and Duncan. Commissioner Brooks is actually at another obligation. Any changes to the agenda? Public comment. Okay, our first one and only item is our exit interview with the CPA firm Eide Bailey regarding Kootenai County's annual external audit. And would our finance, it has Keith's name on here, so. All right, Keith.
Yeah.
Okay, good morning, Brandy Falcon for the record. Today we have Jody Doherty. She's the partner that oversees our annual external audit. She's just going to do a kind of a brief recap of how fieldwork went, any issues that came up, and we can have some discussion and questions as well.
All right, thank you. So we have completed the fieldwork for the audit, and there are some things that we still have to get through before we're actually issuing the ACFR, but the audit is complete. We did perform an audit over the federal programs this year, which we did with Julina's help, and then the audit of the financial statements as well. I have not reviewed the work papers for the single audit, for the audit over the federal programs and the financial statements, but to my knowledge, at this point, there's no issues or findings related to the single audit. Nothing that came to any of our attention, so I think that those two audits went well. With the financial statement audit, I think you have been aware of the situation related to the fair, and so that will be one of the findings this year, is that the financial statements that will be issued will be excluding the fair board and their activity from the financial statements, which will qualify our opinion for 1 year until next year, when that will be brought into the county's financial statements completely.
You said one of the findings?
That will be the finding.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm like,
Sorry.
what?
Sorry.
What? Okay.
Poor choice of words.
It's okay.
It will be a finding related to the fact that that is being excluded from the financial statements. So, but other than that, the audit went well. The biggest change you'll see this year is the airport became a major fund, and so it will be reported in its own column this year, which is something new. No changes to the airport itself, but it just qualified under the definition of a major fund, so it is being pulled out in a separate column. Other than that, do you guys have any questions about the audit or?
Questions?
No, it sounds like, that's the purpose of you performing these audits, is so you can tell us that we're doing things right and what we need to do to be better. So, thank you.
How many other counties had fair findings that you work
Well,
with?
as a firm here in Idaho, the other two that we do are Ada County and Canyon County, and they already encompass
Like that. Okay.
the fair.
Okay.
The other one we did do up to this point is Gooding County, but they went with a different firm this year. So to be honest, I have not looked to see how they treat the fair, how they have in the past. So it's possible they've been excluding it as well, but I have not looked to see how Gooding County
Right.
was doing it.
And in the past, have you ever had a finding over a fair, this situation? I mean, I understand this situation's kind of brand new, and so maybe if we'd known about it 6 months ago, we would have.
Right. Yeah, so what was brought to my attention through the Bonner County
Right.
situation
Yeah.
was the fact that state code does not create the fair board as a separate legal entity.
Right.
And so without that piece of the information, everything else flows like it should be a separate entity if you just go through the gap, the standards.
Mm-hmm.
And so it all hinged upon that state
One
code,
piece.
and I don't know that anyone realized that it actually wasn't a separate legal entity until you get into the legal side of it, and the fact that Idaho statutes, if it doesn't specifically say it can sue and be sued, then that by default, that means it's not a separate legal entity.
Okay.
So I think that was what was brought to everyone's attention this year, that is causing counties to reevaluate their relationship with their fair board. Other than the big, the Ada and Canyon County, who already, because of the size of their population, already
Right.
encompass the fair board.
Okay, fantastic. Any other questions from anyone?
So we did ask Jody if they would work on bringing a proposal forward for the cost to add the fair to our audit fee. And we were discussing whether or not we still want to issue a set of financials for the fair separate. They would still be combined in the county's financials, but we could also issue a separate report just on the fair so that the fair board and you could see the breakout of them on their own, just if you wanted, because they do their own financial administration separate from us, so that could be helpful. It will be more expensive to have a separate financial report for them. Is that something that you would want Eide Bailey to do, to include a separate financial report of the fair or not? I'm curious on what you would like.
Expensive meaning 2,000 or 20,000?
No idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
They could present both and you could decide.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably want to see both.
Yeah, let's see what we're talking about.
Okay.
Okay. I'll work with Alexia, and then we were talking about if they do bring on the fair to their audit, maybe doing a significant amount of their audit work next summer to try and get most of it done, so that when they come back in the winter in December, they only have a couple months left to audit. Since the fair is so busy at year end, that might help them out.
Yeah.
So we'll just bring that proposal forward when we have it.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay.
Great. All right. Well, with nothing else, I will call for public comment once again. Anybody on the line, Jonathan? Nobody. All right, then 11:07, meeting adjourned. Thank you.